In this video, you'll learn how to create a SaaS SEO strategy that generates user signups, trials, and demos. By the end, you'll have a roadmap to create and distribute content that your buyers are hungry for, plus content formats that are proven to convert. If you're just getting started or you're unhappy with the results you're getting from your current SEO strategy, I guarantee you'll find something that you can test today. Now, I'm Tom Watley, founder of the organic growth agency Grizzle, where we help dozens of B2B and SaaS brands build and execute content and SEO programs. We've had the pleasure of working with SaaS leaders like Pipedrive, Semrush, and Web.com, alongside startups like Yak, Decipad, and Tide Banking. So you're going to get a peek behind the curtain on the strategies that have helped grow these brands all the way from startup to scale up. And it all starts with the first step: building topical authority. It's critical that you prioritize your efforts on the activity that will generate users, trials, demos, and leads. Imagine if in their early days, project management tools like Asana or ClickUp produce content on topics related to sales and marketing. Yes, their marketing and sales leaders are always looking for ways to make their work more organized and effective. But producing marketing or sales content is a far cry from their core project management offering. Simply put, people looking for marketing advice are far less likely to be interested in adopting project management software. If you align your SaaS SEO strategy with your value proposition, you not only attract a relevant audience of in-market buyers, but you have a higher chance of ranking in Google. This concept is known as topical authority, and it happens as a natural byproduct of establishing brand credibility in any given space. Now, the good news is that you already have some topical authority simply by operating in the space that you're working in and talking about the problems you solve through your messaging and marketing. For example, a client of ours offers asynchronous meeting software. And when we first engaged with them, they were keen to create content around both meeting-related and remote work-related topics. But when we started producing content around those broader remote working topics, we stumbled upon an immediate problem. It would start ranking quickly, but get stuck on page 2 or 3 of Google. And even when we optimized that content, it didn't always budge. However, whenever we published content about meetings like skip level, weekly team updates, and retrospectives, they'd shoot up between positions 8 to 3 in a matter of weeks. Why? Because that's what Yak was already known for. They had already established themselves as experts in meetings. And it's likely you're doing the same. By being in the market, getting traction, and establishing yourself as a brand in whatever space you operate in, you're already showing search algorithms that you are an authority in your space. Now, there's a caveat. It's possible to start expanding your organic strategy into other tangential topics, but it does take time. However, the results from this approach are clear. Our asynchronous meeting software client grew organic traffic from around 200 monthly visitors to over 4,000 in 6 months. And most importantly, attributed 33% of user signups to their blog content. So, once you know which themes you want to plant your flag on in the market, the next step is to figure out what topics to write about. This means first conducting customer-driven keyword research, using the pain points and jobs to be done from your audience to inform how you should best serve them. And then second, organize that data into keyword clusters. So let's talk about keyword clusters. There's a huge mistake I see many SaaS founders and marketers make when conducting keyword research. They focus on a single term rather than the breadth of questions, synonyms, and subtopics covered by the same topic. Let's say we have 2 keywords: content strategy, which has a monthly search volume of 1,200 users, and content distribution, which generates 800 monthly searches. Now, prioritizing based on volume alone, content strategy might look more attractive. But if we dig deeper into these additional terms, we find that articles on content strategy ranked for 12 relevant keywords, totaling 3,200 monthly searches, while articles related to content distribution rank for 18 relevant keywords, totaling 5,200 monthly searches. Having a full picture of the entire search opportunity available to you helps us make better strategic decisions. But search volume alone isn't enough for effective goals-based prioritization. For example, the topic content distribution above might generate 5,200 monthly searches, but it attracts people mostly interested in learning what it is and how to do it. Inversely, the term content distribution software might generate 170 monthly searches, significantly fewer. However, the majority of these users could be considered in-market. They're researching and looking for tools they can use to help them solve their problems. The topic of keyword research requires a guide of its own. And you can hit us up in the comments below and subscribe to the channel to be alerted when future videos go live. But for now, here are some keyword research principles to keep in mind as you get started with this process. First, focus on pain points and the jobs to be done your SaaS product helps customers achieve. Use these insights to fuel your roadmap versus just keyword research tools alone. Second, focus on the keyword clusters that indicate in-market intent. This can include comparisons like Salesforce versus HubSpot, best CRM software, and even industry or role-related terms like CRM for gyms. And finally, don't shy away from zero-volume keywords. These are topics that you know your audience is hungry for because you, your sales reps, or your customer success teams have uncovered them during conversations, but they don't show up in keyword research tools. Test these topics on a small scale by creating useful but short-form content. Measure performance using Google Search Console, and as they gain traction in the form of clicks and impressions, optimize that content to make it stronger. Speaking of content, once you know what terms and topics your audience is hungry for, it's time to create exceptional content that fulfills their needs. Now, I'm not here to talk about the merits or pitfalls of AI content. It's likely you've heard of recent hype and horror stories from grifters on social media. What I will emphasize is the importance of quality, actionable content. And Google has only emphasized how they're making strides to combat useless content at scale as part of their March 2024 core algorithm update. But let's forget about algorithms for a second and focus on the human. B2B buyers are more discerning than ever. They know a charlatan when they see one. So it's critical you produce content that educates and helps guide them from their current state to their desired state. Give them the roadmap for solving their problems in the form of new strategic frameworks, ways of thinking and doing, and offer utility in the form of step-by-step guides. To stand out, you need to do 3 things. First, define your audience. Who are they? Why are they searching for your content? What are their goals? And what are they sick and tired of? Again, get clear on their current and desired states. For example, you might create a guide to selecting the right help desk platform. Someone looking for this guide is likely in the market to buy one, but they're not sure how to research and choose the right one for them. So, their current state might be, I know I need to invest in help desk software, but I don't know what to look for or what to avoid. And their desired state might be, I now have a checklist to follow, questions to ask sales reps during demos, and ways I can build a committee from other teams in my organization to find the right tool for us. With this hero's journey mapped out, you can move on to step 2, a competitive analysis. What we want to do here is look at competing articles on the topic and see what they have in common and what gaps they're leaving unfilled. The first helps us gauge a user's search intent. Google has already done a lot of hard work for us by figuring out what searchers are looking for and giving it to them. This means emulating the structure of existing content to a certain extent. We don't want to reinvent the wheel, but we do need to bring something new to the table, which is where the third big content component comes in, your angle. The angle is how you bring a unique perspective to a given topic. This can be your own experiences or the experiences of a partner or third-party expert, customer success stories, or even additional nuggets of value that haven't been covered, such as brand breakdowns, technical checklists, templates, the list goes on. We've seen content rank far above competing results simply because we recognize mistakes and factually incorrect information that, in some cases, all competing articles or pages regurgitate. For example, when creating a guide on relationship selling for Pipedrive, we noticed that many competing articles talked about how building rapport and likability didn't matter. However, after years of working with salespeople, we know that this is simply not the case. So we called this advice out, said it right, and gave reasons and data to back up our claims. By putting this misinformation right, we build trust with our readers. And that's the key to success, creating great content for humans first. It's what we as buyers care about, and thus what Google cares about. The fourth pillar of a successful SaaS SEO strategy is effective content distribution. There's nothing worse than publishing a great piece of content only to let it sit there, collect dust, and hope that it ranks. Proactively promoting your content across additional channels does 3 key things. 1, it creates a sense of omnipresence in the marketplace. 2, when done well, it drives an immediate spike in traffic. 3, it increases the chances of getting on the radars of Google, ChatGPT, and other search-driven inbound channels. At Grizzle, we lean into 3 key approaches that can be applied to any channel when done intelligently. The first is content repurposing, taking your existing content and repackaging it for channels like LinkedIn, X, and even communities or platforms that encourage posting fresh content. For SaaS startups, this can help you maximize every piece of content you invest in by making it work harder for you on the channels that matter the most. Let's say you're investing heavily in SEO, but are looking to build your company presence and personal brand on LinkedIn. One article can be spun into 3, 5, even 10 different angles for LinkedIn. Furthermore, because of the way social platforms work, you can talk about the same topic over and over again in the long term. This creates a compounding effect, providing you and your team with a tremendous source of educational expertise, insights, and opinions to share with your audience. The second content distribution approach is influencer engagement. Now, back in the day, content marketers used to try and get their content in front of an influencer's audience by simply quoting them in an article and then emailing them asking to share it. But as this approach became more widespread and abused, its effectiveness dwindled. So, what's a better, timeless approach? Turning influencer promotion into influencer collaboration. Let's say you're keen to partner with a thought leader or creator who has access to your audience. Getting them involved in the content production process does 3 things. 1, you're giving them a platform to get their message in front of a wider audience, offering value upfront first. 2, you make your content more authoritative and valuable by elevating the stories and expertise of a third party. And 3, you build a mutually beneficial relationship, priming those experts and thought leaders to naturally share your content with their audience once it goes live. The added benefit of this approach is that it's a great business development tool, allowing you to build inroads with potential co-marketing or integration partners. The third and final content distribution channel is, of course, link building. Gone are the days of spammy, cold outreach. It simply doesn't work anymore. So what's a better way to do this? Well, create something that's truly interesting and link-worthy, generating backlinks organically. One tried and tested approach is commentary on industry trends or data-driven content, producing studies and reports that offer data and insights to other editors, journalists, and content creators. These formats get linked to like crazy because they do one thing really well. It proves people right. If people can use your data to back up their own claims, they're going to naturally cite it in their content. Partner with other brands and coordinate your efforts on launch day to build a sense of omnipresence in the market. The fifth and final SaaS SEO pillar is optimization. Content and SEO isn't a one and done affair. Over time, you'll find new opportunities for your existing content to rank for additional keywords. But you'll also see your organic traffic begin to decay. And that's why it's important to produce net new content and optimize existing articles and landing pages over time. Plant new trees, but tend to your garden. We call this content refreshing, taking existing content and improving upon it to achieve better results. For example, when we created a short guide to display ads for our SaaS client Acquisio, we quickly ranked for the term, "What are display ads?" However, a month later, we saw that it was ranking at the top of page 2 for the broader term, display ads. So we added new sections and bolstered the guide with more value to align with search intent for this broader, more competitive term, all while outcompeting existing articles on the topic. In 30 days, we managed to increase organic traffic to this single blog post by over 296%. Now, inversely, you'll find that content that has performed well will start to lose search visibility and traffic over time. This often happens because content becomes outdated or new competitors enter the fray. So, it's critical you monitor performance and take note of seasonal content where key information changes on a regular basis. SEO often gets a bad rap, but those who do it with their audiences in mind are the ones that win. The key, serve them with educational value, utility, and new ways of thinking and doing. Do this, and you'll see an exponential increase in traffic over time. Not only that, but you'll future-proof your SaaS SEO strategy because at the end of the day, that's what Google cares about. Helpful content that's built for humans first. Do this, and you'll generate consistent organic traffic that converts readers into users effortlessly.